Dear distinguished members of the press, Assalamu alaikum. We are happy to welcome you all in person or virtually at this important gathering to announce that the 5th General Assembly of the Islamic Organization for Food Security was successfully concluded in an online format on October 10th and 11th, 2022 in Tunis, Republic of Tunisia, under the theme Partnerships for Sustainable Food Security, Africa with an OIC Geography. My name is Ayjan Mukajanova, and it is a pleasure for me to act as a spokesperson of the Iofs today. It is my honor to be accompanied by high-level officials from the Iofs Secretariat here. Dr. Ismail Abdelhamid, Director of Programs and Project Offices. Ambassador Murat Tashabayev, Advisor to His Excellency, Director General. Ambassador Dawlet Imberdiev, Director of International Cooperation and Humanitarian Aid Office. Now, before we elaborate on the specifics of the event, I would like to draw your attention to the screen for an informative video dedicated to the 5th General Assembly of the Iofs.
Welcome to the 5th General Assembly to be held under the theme Partnerships for Sustainable Food Security, Africa with an OIC Geography. The logo is the identification symbol of the solemn gathering. It symbolizes the hosting country, the 5th General Assembly, the 5 pillars of the Iofs Strategy Vision 2031, and the 4 continents in which Iofs member states are located. The Islamic Organization for Food Security is a specialized programming institution of the Organization for Islamic Cooperation. Its major operational activities began in 2019 after the 2nd General Assembly, which was graciously hosted in Jeddah, Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, a critical turning point in the institutionalization of the organization. Iofs is comprised of 37 out of 57 OIC countries, 17 of which ratified the statute. The key statuary objectives of the Iofs are providing expertise and technical know-how to member states on sustainable agriculture, rural development, food security, and biotechnology, to assess and monitor the state of food security in member states, to identify emergencies, provide social safety nets and humanitarian assistance through food security reserves, to coordinate, formulate, and implement common agricultural policies, the exchange and transfer of appropriate technology and public food management systems, to address agriculture-related problems as desertification, deforestation, erosion, and salinity, to mobilize and manage financial and agricultural resources to enhance food security in the member states. 10-year strategy Iofs Vision 2031 was adopted by the 4th General Assembly and has 5 main pillars: governance enablement, 2 component programs; food crisis response, 3 programs; capacity building, 7 programs; industry development, 2 programs; resource mobilization, 2 programs. Iofs Global Agenda 2022 includes Afghanistan Food Security Program, AFSP, Year of Africa Program, YOA. On December 2021 in Islamabad, Pakistan, 17th Extraordinary Session of the OIC CFM on the humanitarian situation in Afghanistan decides to launch an Afghanistan Food Security Program. Requests Iofs to undertake through capacity of the organization's food security reserves. OIC member states, international donors, the UN Fund-Fan programs, and others encouraged to contribute to the program. 4th Iofs General Assembly in September 2021 in Kazakhstan agreed to elect 2022 as the Iofs Year of Africa. Why in Tunis? Tunis, considered to be the bridge to Africa, was chosen as the host of the Iofs 5th General Assembly for its unwavering support for the Year of Africa program and for the Iofs in general.
Thank you very much. As mentioned in the video, 2022 was proclaimed the Year of Africa by the Iofs. As such, the organization has been continuously working with African governments and relevant development agencies in the African agricultural landscape and has launched activities in different member states within its strategic format. We at the Iofs believe that food security in Africa will be attained if we all international, regional, and national institutions, properly supported by our member states, join hands toward this major objective. Please allow me to redirect your attention once more to a video we have prepared in honor of the Year of Africa.
Africa was not on track to meeting the Sustainable Development Goal SDG 2 targets to end hunger and ensure access by all people to safe, nutritious, and sufficient food all year round, and to end all forms of malnutrition. The number of hungry people in Africa has risen by 47.9 million since 2014 and now stands at 250.3 million, or nearly 1/5 of the population. 2022 was elected as the Year for Africa by the Iofs. The Iofs works with African governments and relevant actors, development partners in the African agricultural landscape towards raising awareness on the bleak reality on all matters related with food security, implementing suitable initiatives in the field of food security and agricultural transformation, gathering required resources to catalyze and sustain implementation of programs under the Iofs Framework Strategy and Iofs 2031 Strategic Vision, expanding contacts and sharing experience among citizens, institutions of science, culture, education, business entities, and structures, furthering capacity building of government officials, representatives of science, research entities, and other stakeholders in the domain of food security and agriculture. Food security in Africa is and must be possible if we all join hands towards that objective.
Thank you. Now let us move forward to the main part of our briefing, the proceedings of the Fifth General Assembly. On October 10, 2022, there was a preparatory meeting attended by senior officials from various member states who had deliberated on all points under the agenda items, including report of the Director General, membership, report on financial matters, Iofs strategic programs, an overview of the implementation, election of the members of the Executive Board, Afghanistan Food Security Program, Year of Africa, other institutional matters, and adoption of the resolution of the Fifth General Assembly. On the 11th of October 2022, the ministerial session was held. It was coordinated by His Excellency Mr. Yerwol Karashukev, Minister of Agriculture of the Republic of Kazakhstan, in his capacity of chairman of the 4th Iofs General Assembly held in September 2021. He provided initial remarks to assure of his country's unwavering support of the Iofs as the host of the organization, and transferred the chairmanship to His Excellency Mr. Mahmoud Eliz Hamza, Minister of Agriculture of the Republic of Tunisia, and chairman of the 5th Iofs General Assembly. The meeting was also addressed by Their Excellencies Mr. Hussein Brahim Taha, Secretary General of the OIC, Ambassador Gabriel Ferrero y de Loma Osorio, Chairperson of the Committee of World Food Security. Then His Excellency Mr. Yerlan Baydauliet, Iofs Director General, provided a report of all the activities that have been implemented since the 4th General Assembly. The Director General noted that since September 2021, there have been positive dynamics in the development of Iofs programs and the active involvement of member states in addressing common food security issues. He added that it would therefore be remarkable, despite the constraints caused by COVID-19 in 2020-21, the Iofs continued the process of consolidating its structures in a sustainable manner. This, among other things, led the organization in the reporting period to mostly hold its events in an offline format. The main outcomes of the 5th General Assembly. At the solemn Iofs gathering, member states discussed important programs to further develop agriculture and address food insecurity, particularly in Africa. These included OIC food security reserves, which have been envisioned by the OIC agenda since 1981. The main purpose of the FSR is to facilitate access to food resources in the member states by forming regional food reserves to guarantee supplies in times of food shortage, and by monitoring and forecasting the situation. The Iofs Secretariat, following a corresponding research study, proposes the establishment of 6 regional food reserves. The Grain Fund, which is geared towards increasing intra-OIC economic cooperation, particularly in the field of agricultural development and food security, with emphasis on funding and grain supply. It should be underscored that the Grain Fund can become an important tool for member states to avoid different factors that destabilize the grain market policy, while reducing the price risk of purchase of agricultural products, as well as currency risk and attracting loans from international financial institutions. It also envisioned that this fund, when fully replenished, would provide for strengthening ties with Islamic financial institutions through the Iofs to attract investment in agricultural development and food security, including the development of food safety production and value chain. The transformation and growth of the International Islamic Food Processing Association, IFPA. IFPA is to be given an additional impetus to advance Pillar 4 of the Iofs Strategic Vision 2031 that is devoted to OIC food industry development, which is the foundation of the relationship between the Iofs and investment promotion agencies, IPA. IFPA is the Iofs subsidiary that is focused on business-to-business relationships and is important in enhancing the private sector, particularly in African member states. During the Iofs Director General's visit to Tunis, the organization signed an agreement with the director of IFPA. All 18 Kazakhstan food unions are supportive of the transformation and strengthening of IFPA, as this will give them an opportunity to attract new investments and will have a positive effect on Kazakhstan's economy. The Sheep Farming Fund is an investment project focused on establishing value chains and shall provide sustainable intra-OIC supplies of top-quality meat. Iofs shall facilitate financing from institutional investors of OIC member states with the support of member countries of IPA. Upon successful implementation, this commodity fund is to be replicated in other countries such as Somalia and Sudan. Annual Iofs Civil Society Forum. As Article 7 of the Iofs statute provides the mandate for establishing closer collaboration with any non-governmental, regional, and international organization concerned with agriculture, rural development, and food security. The Fifth General Assembly discussing provided the grounds for Iofs to initiate an annual civil society forum in close, strict collaboration with member states. The General Assembly requested in this context the Iofs Secretariat to explore, discuss, and promote local and contextualized solutions and commitments for emergency response, recovery, and preparedness, and longer-term initiatives that address the food security crisis and future risks, sharing lessons learned, challenges, and opportunities with relevant civil societies in coordination with member states. The Iofs Center for Plant and Animal Genetic Resources. Bearing in mind that the numerous and diverse conflicts around the world were among the main causes for the destruction of important food security and agricultural development infrastructures, including the imminent loss of ICAR's genetic collection stored in Aleppo, Syria, and destruction of the National Gene Bank plants in Ukraine, the Fifth General Assembly invited member states and relevant institutions to strengthen the actions at national and local levels for the acquisition, conservation, and sustainable use of plant genetic resources and improvement of animal genetic resources to enhance food production and agricultural development. In this context, Iofs, considering the Almaty Forum of Declaration on establishing an international center for plant and animal genetic resources, requested member states to consolidate efforts in establishing a storage facility of agricultural genetic resources within OIC geography. The ministerial session of the Fifth General Assembly welcomed Tajikistan as a full-fledged Iofs member state and expressed gratitude to the Republic of Chad for signing the Iofs statute, increasing the number of member states to 37. During the session, Azerbaijan has stated that all domestic measures are being taken for the country to be a full-fledged Iofs member state. Finally, it is important to note that the Fifth General Assembly was also instrumental in electing new members of the Executive Board. As such, was elected in the following composition. First, the State of Qatar as chair, the UAE, the Republic of Tajikistan, the Islamic Republic of Pakistan, the Republic of Cameroon, the Republic of the Gambia, the Republic of Kazakhstan as a permanent member, the Director General of Iofs as a non-voting member. This, among other things, led the organization to the... Oh, I'm sorry. So, next, we have... That is all with our report. So now, if you mind, we will go to the question and answer part of our briefing. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask them by raising your hand, and my colleagues will give you the mic. Please, Astana Times.
Yeah. Can you hear me? Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Galia Hasankhanova. I represent the Astana Times newspaper, and my question is about Afghanistan. As far as we know, you work with Afghanistan, and we wonder what humanitarian contributions does the organization do in that country?
Thank you for your question.
Thank you so much. Galia, thank you so much for your question. And I want to welcome everybody, each and everybody for coming. And I hope that for foreign journalists, you will spend good time in our beautiful city, Astana. And just answering to your question, you know that Iofs, Islamic Organization for Food Security, is doing a lot of good things towards Afghanistan. You know that the situation was unfolding 2015 when the government changed it. And since that time, many humanitarian organizations, they were trying to avoid widespread famine has been affecting Afghanistan since long time. And I can say that our brotherly Republic of Pakistan hosted a conference of foreign ministers 18th and 19th December 2021. When the comprehensive resolution was adopted about the humanitarian situation in Afghanistan, and which resulted and which launched Afghanistan Food Security Program, so-called AFCP, and we are the main operators of this program. And I can say that in this context, Afghanistan Food Security Program, our organization initiated 4 responses. First of all, supply of wheat flour to Afghanistan, which includes Iofs Kazakhstan initiative. First, and second, Iofs ICIC Partnership for Afghanistan Emergency Food Support. It's the Islamic Committee for International Crescent, and the model case for cereal cultivation and flour production in Afghanistan, and also fourth is potable water cleaning facility for several rural areas. And I can say that I have a great honor to accompany His Excellency Director General Erlan Baydavlet on 16th and 18th April of this year. We visited Afghanistan, and it was the good opportunity to hand over 6 Oasis boxes. Actually, our organization held unprecedented operation. We bought 6 Oasis boxes with the capacity 20,000 liters of each to transfer through the Torkham border from Pakistan to the territory of Afghanistan. And those 6 boxes, Oasis boxes, were handed to the Minister of Emergency Situation and the Minister of Agriculture. And soon, those 6 boxes with the capacity per day 120,000 liters will be established in the areas of Afghanistan with the high water scarcity. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much for your response. Yes, please. Yeah, back there. Could you present yourself, please? So a little translation. When and where was our organization opened? A little bit of history. So the response will be by Dr. Tashibayev, please.
Thank you. In June 2011, Kazakhstan proposed establishing a specialized food security entity within the Organization of Islamic Cooperation at the 7th session of the World Islamic Economic Forum, which were held in Astana. The initiative was highly relevant considering the rising threat of food shortage and starvation in many OIC countries. The inaugural General Assembly session of our organization took place in Astana in April 2016. Being under the OIC umbrella, the institution has the same status as the Islamic Development bank, very well this institution, and also like the Islamic World Educational, Scientific and Cultural Organization, ISESCA. And Iofs specializes in food security, agricultural development, rural development, development of biotechnologies.
Thank you very much for your response. Yes, over there. We'll get to all of you. Do not worry, please. Please present yourself.
Yes. Hello, friends, and thanks for the organizers of this meeting. My question is, my name is Tahirpur from Iran News English Daily from Iran. What is the programs of the organization for the current food crisis in the world, especially for the what is going on in the region and among the members of this organization?
Thank you very much for
I
your
will.
question.
Thank you for
Ismail.
the question. It's very important, and maybe, but I can reply part of this question, and maybe His Excellency Ambassador Dawlat can also back me up if I. Crisis is always continuous. COVID-19 left us in food security level that we have to take care, not only on OIC member countries, but in all global. So we have developed a very important program regarding the regional food security reserve. And this program is, we are already here in Iofs with the international consultant make a pre-feasibility study for how this could be working, how this could be helping in the crisis, and with maintaining of the stability of the prices of the strategic commodities. In brief, because I will not tell the whole pre-feasibility study, by the way, it is available in Iofs website, so please go and see it is there. And it is designated 6 areas in our OIC geography that need to be establishing the food security reserve. By the way, this is not coming out of the blue. It is coming in OIC action plan since 1981. And it has been going into consideration by several ministerial meetings. And it is devoted to Iofs to tackle this important point. We are in this area that we are now working in the Central Asia region. There is African region, and as I told you, there is 6 designated areas. Regarding other programs for immediate crisis response, we have also Flour for Humanity, which we are also cooperating with other funding agents in OIC territory, which could be also suitable to fund the to offer or to make the flour available for those who in immediate need. We have another also program devoted to we call it Korbani meat or Adahi meat sometimes. So it is also working in a way that we are also responding in the lack of or shortage of meat also for some of the areas or territories under crisis. So we have special pillar containing 3 important activities regarding the response, humanitarian and immediate response for crisis.
Maybe to add to your question, Excellency, as said His Excellency Dr. Ismail, I want to add that our efforts and activities in providing food security and safety for all Islamic Ummah is based on the 5 pillars and 16 programs. I can see 5 pillars, 16 programs. That programs are established that way that to enable all the countries, member countries of our Islamic Ummah to benefit from them. And I want to say that recently we signed a memorandum of understanding with your Minister of Trade and Investment. So we consider Iran as the big, great country, strategic country to provide this safety, security for the whole Islamic Ummah.
Thank you very much. Before I would one request to state your
Yes,
name
okay.
and news agency. Yes, please.
Yeah. My name is Fatma Badawi. I'm a journalist from Egypt. And I want to ask my questions about my mother's language, Arabic language. Can you help me, Dr. Ismail? Thank you so much. Okay. أنا عايزة أعرف آخر بروتوكول تم توقيعه ما بين المنظمة وما بين جامعة الدول العربية اللي بتضم 22 دولة عربية، خاصة في ظل حالة الصراع اللي بيشهده العالم الآن من حروب وصراعات سواء عسكرية أو بعض المظاهر اللا إنسانية اللي احنا بنشاهدها على وسائل الإعلام المختلفة. عايزة أعرف آخر بروتوكولات تم توقيعها ما بين المنظمة وما بين جامعة الدول العربية، وماذا ستقدم المنظمة كخطة استراتيجية في القريب العاجل. شكرا.
Ms. Fatma is from Egypt, and she is asking about the update of the protocols signed between the Iofs as an organization and the Arab League in Cairo, and what is the impact of this strategic relationship between the two organizations, and how it can be reflecting on the food security in particular, especially on the situations that the global is facing from some crisis. So this is the question. If I'm allowed to answer part of it, actually it is important. We had the honor to visit the Arab League in Cairo and to meet with the responsible for the part in our activities. And actually, we are not in Iofs standing alone. In Iofs, we are working in cooperation with the Arab League, with the Arab Agriculture Organization and the Development Organization, and it is also under the Arab League. So all the possible umbrella that it can be giving us a solid relationship with our member countries, we are directly going to them. Our hand is overstretched, and we are link hands together, and we are found always that our activities and our program is totally complement with what they are doing. So we are going always to cooperate. In this regard, just let me give a hint about the Cairo Water Week that it will be held in Cairo next week, inshallah. It is also, as you may know, Ms. Fatma, that it is gathering all Arab League's institutions, and it is held by under the patronage of the Ministry of Irrigation and Water Resources, and we are in Iofs also, since the water is one of the most important program, water development for water in agriculture, so we will be there, inshallah. Yeah, so we are always in cooperation with all our partner, regional, international, Arab leagues, organization of Islamic cooperation. We are always with them. يعني in the same way.
قال الساعة الدكتور إسماعيل عندنا مدام فاطمة أهلا وسهلا، وإن شاء الله أنت عجبك الجولة إن شاء الله. وعندنا علاقة مميزة ممتازة مع مصر، مع الجمهورية العربية مصر.
بالإنجليزي أحسن.
إنجليزي. Just I want to say that I'm sorry. Just we had an excellent relationship with the Egyptian authorities and with the Minister of Agriculture and Water Resources. And that we hope that between Iofs and Egypt, our relationship will be developing in mutual beneficial way.
Thank you very much. Yes,
تفضل.
please
أنا
present
هترجم.
yourself and your news.
السلام عليكم.
وعليكم السلام.
أهلا وسهلا.
My name is Muhammad Malkawi. I'm a Jordanian journalist. I'm a media advisor in the Middle East. Also, I represent a Jordanian news website. Its name is جوهرة العرب الإخباري.
أهلا وسهلا.
أهلا وسهلا. My question will be in English, but if I need assistance from you, Your Excellency, I will ask you. I'm a practical journalist, especially on the ground. After what happened in Ukraine, I think maybe the food security is in danger now worldwide. And also what happened in Syria and Iraq, also the food also security regionally, it's also in danger. So any region has a crisis, I think it means that we have to face a lot of problems regionally and around the world. So my question is, are we need now a new strategy for food security under your umbrella here? And also, the second part of the question, maybe it's not easy to control these crises, so we are having a big problem with the food security regionally and around the world. But based on Sika, I think we have a hope that this country can adopt maybe a new strategy or a new agenda, try to work. I'm not talking politically, I'm talking about under your umbrella here, that maybe in Kazakhstan, we can find a good agenda in this country, this peace country. Maybe we can find or we can create a strategy that we have to work together around the world to make the food security to be secure. Crisis is everywhere. So thank you in Kazakhstan for Sika, but I need, as a Jordanian journalist working in the Middle East, and you know that Middle East, we have a lot problems and crises there. So we need to hear something that gives us hope that the food security and peace around the world should be work everywhere. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Muhammad, and thank you that you didn't need my help in translation, which I'm always available. And I will give the floor to His Excellency Ambassador, but I really love one of the expressions you have used, that we need the food security to be more secure. This is, for me, it's very important. As a scientist and the director of programs and the project office, I have to take this as a slogan, that we need the food security to be even more secure. And not only what you have mentioned, but also we had faced the COVID-19. And we are continuously facing a climate change. What does it mean? It means that we have to be alert. We have to be ready with our programs to be more flexible and more resilient to tackle all issues of food security. Does Iofs do that? Islamic Organization for Food Security do that? Yes. Yes, we do that. How we do that? We do that through our solid programs, which is under 5 pillars, and it has been by our eminent spokesperson that she has just mentioned it, this 16 program, but also we have to update it up to using the hard technology. Because now we have to be fast. We have to be using the most important elements in food security in a sufficient and resilient way. My opinion, actually, on this, that we could not do it alone. With the help of member countries, and they are helping, and with the support of member countries, we can do that. We can achieve our programs very much. Thanks also for mentioning that Iofs is located here in the Republic of Kazakhstan, which is supporting Unlimit to us. And our programs, it's really smoothly implemented through all our OIC region. I need to talk about what you have mentioned also, how to can make our food security more secure. And this is what we translated to be resilient. The resilient, نكون قوي ومتماسك. In this part that we have to work with all our regional counterparts and with all international counterparts, because we have privilege in some programs and we have also lack of the others. So we have to be complementing, and we do not have to reinvent the wheel. No, we have to use the maximum benefits that have been done in member countries. One of the most important programs that you can also take into account is that Gene Bank. Gene Bank, yeah, I will come to, maybe Green Fund also. This is also important. But if we talk about Gene Bank, for instance, Gene Bank for us is a core of food security. Because now all this challenge you have to be alerted to have the better and the best plant variety with high yield, with more resilient against climate change, with more resistant to disease. You could not do all of this without GBank, without fast cooperation between member countries. In Iofs, we have, as His Excellency mentioned now, we have Green Fund, and we are doing this, the second phase of the feasibility study for this. It will be very ready. The first part have been done. In this Green Fund also, we will be able to react faster to crisis. So we can entertain, go to our website. It is also, there is Arabic translation and there is English translation, and your English is good. And alhamdulillah, and you can find a lot of activities, a lot of details. Of course, you can contact us at any time. You are more than welcome for that.
I want to add something. Yeah. Dear brother, your question is very good. And just I want to tell that we are a non-political institution, okay? We don't interfere in any political issues. But I can say that I'm participating in at some events, clubs, events, and some people, they are delivering some remarks that, you know, the COVID-19 scared everybody, frightened everybody. Everybody tried to provide the food security. But some remarks, I just totally, I can't agree with those remarks that saying that we have to provide our own food security, to produce everything. It's impossible. It's impossible to produce all the products, agriculture products in one country. So only one solution is to interact with other countries. With your neighbors, only with interaction. Only with interaction with your close neighbors, with far neighbors, you can provide, you can secure your food security. This is the issue. And I want to repeat that all those programs on the basis on 5 pillars, those programs established and programmed that way to enable. I mean, our organization is making structural changes in the country. For example, we are coming, for example, like saying in English, don't give me the fish, give me the hook. This is the answer. I mean, we try to change, we try to make infrastructural changes in those countries, capital changes in those countries to increase the production. This is the issue.
For my article, yes, I want to mention about the protective summit that will...
Sir, you are in Iofs.
I know. I'm talking globally. Really, protective summit. I know I'm under your umbrella here, but I'm talking worldwide. Yes. I'm a journalist, okay? So I want to hear here, there is something great will happen tomorrow. I need to hear that, to give us a message that maybe we can have hope in the near future.
Brother, we are coming step by step to this goal, step by step. No, the programs are established not fast. I mean, it needs times. Gradually, step by step, we'll come to this goal.
Thank you.
And we try to secure this.
A little bit short on time. Just a reminder.
I want for my article, I want to hear.
I want to add several sentences. First of all, I'm very grateful to you for raising this question. So, in general, the situation, even before coronavirus, even before the crisis, geopolitical crisis, all, let's say, bad. because some of our countries, it's not a secret, OIC members have been facing a lot of problems in regard of food security, in regard of starvation, in regard of poverty and other things. And then I think that the initiative of Kazakhstan to establish this organization, Islamic Organization of Security, was very timely, and even, let's say, it was something like the step which had been proposed even before those events we are facing now. And as headquarters of this organization is here, we are very proud that there is a possibility together to consolidate common efforts of all our membership, of all our community to tackle those problems. And as my colleague mentioned, coronavirus. During the last 2 years, Iofs was, let's say, constantly working on elaborating programs. And under those programs, there are projects. We are the only programming institution in our country, for example, which is aimed for realizing specific projects. There are, of course, SICA and other, let's say, political dialogue sites and other things. And that's why Kazakhstani side is very much, let's say, happy to have this organization, to host this organization. And beginning the year 2018, the Secretariat have elaborated a lot of projects, and there was also feedback from these kind of activities. For example, under using our experience, Ministry of Agriculture of Kazakhstan has elaborated and adopted the program, the state program on food security management, which means that they have already facing directly the situation of security. So there is a mutual benefit for both of IOFC and member countries. So thank you.
Thank you very much.
Unfortunately, our Director General Erlan Baydavlit is not here. His Excellency, he's on visit now to Italy. And I want to say that this our Director General is doing great job in providing food security and safety in Islamic Ummah. Just I want to say that.
Thank you very much. Just a reminder, we also have our colleagues on Zoom also with us, and we have one question from Zoom. Ekaterina, please.
Yes.
Please. Oh, 1 second, we can't hear you. 1 second. Yes, please. Ekaterina, can you? No, we can't hear you yet. Oh, sorry. Technical difficulties. Okay, so while we are having some technical difficulties here, how about we give our next question over here, please?
Добрый день, я представляю Кыргызстан, да, онлайн-ресурс Вести KG. У меня два вопроса, возможно, вы об этом уже говорили на английском языке, может быть, вы повторите на русском. Первый вопрос у меня связан с тем, что вообще насколько сейчас реальная угроза продовольственной безопасности. Второй вопрос, вот мой коллега, предыдущий спикер, уже примерно задал такой вопрос, но меня интересует именно в контексте Центральной Азии, потому что у нас наблюдается уже несколько лет маловодный период, засуха, инфляция, да, вот цены повышаются. И вот в связи с этим хотелось бы узнать, по вашему мнению, каких нам ожидать, может быть, экономических потрясений и каковы ваши стратегии в связи с этими экономическими потрясениями. То есть, потому что я знаю, что Казахстан, например, является очень активным поставщиком зерна в нашу страну. И вот мне бы хотелось бы узнать для наших читателей, для кыргызстанских, какие ваши стратегии для того, чтобы нам избежать этих экономических потрясений, каким образом ваша организация может, если они последуют, поддержать наши центральноазиатские страны. Спасибо.
Thank you very much for your question. Dr.
For me?
Yes.
Oh,
Да, я хочу большое спасибо. Добро пожаловать из Кыргызстана. Я вот хотел сказать, что в первую очередь, как бы мы, основная деятельность наша не экспорт зерна. У нас такой цели нету нашей организации. Как сказал, мы, да, организация, которая состоит из 37 государств, это, вы знаете, в ОИС, это состоит из 57 государств, из них примерно 37 государств являются нашими членами. Мы вот занимаемся именно обеспечением безопасности, продовольственной безопасности в тех странах. Как я сказал на английском, что вот мы обеспечиваем, как вот структурно, мы пытаемся структурно изменить, вот если государство-член, он просит там изменить какую-то вот культивацию каких-то культур сельскохозяйственных менять. Вот это у нас есть специалисты, очень хорошие специалисты в нашей организации. Можно сказать, 85% это работники сельскохозяйства министерств, именно ученые. Вот здесь сидят, вот доктор Исмаил, он тоже ученый. И просто хочу сказать, что вот насчет, будем так смотреть, я хочу со своей стороны ответить. Будем смотреть оптимистично, что вот уже сегодня информация есть, что в Казахстане намолото почти 22 миллиона тонн зерна. Это замечательная новость. Я хочу сказать, это хорошая новость для всех. 21 миллион тонн. Я могу ошибиться, извиняюсь, если Министерство сельскохозяйства меня слушает, но 9 миллионов тонн это внутреннее потребление считается. То есть это считается, что мы обеспечили казахстанскую безопасность вот именно зерна. И я думаю, что высшее политическое руководство она решает. Я думаю, что вот, к сожалению, Кыргызстан не является членом нашей организации. Вы можете довести это. Быстрее пусть вступает в членство Iofs, Исламская организация по продовольственной безопасности. И было бы замечательно вот, иметь вот эти центральноазиатские государства в своем составе. Мы могли бы как бы структурно вмешаться, помочь этим странам. А вот насчет экспорта зерна я вам сказал, да, что вот именно хорошая новость, что почти намолото 22 миллиона тонн. Это, я считаю, что рекорд последних лет.
I turn to English. Thank you very much for your question, dear colleague, because mostly they want us to speak English. As for Kazakhstan, for example, we could consider the example of Kazakhstan, where we are now. Food security is provided. It's okay. When we start, let's say, listing, what are those shortages? You can find some fruits, vegetables, other, let's say, products which are not being produced in our country. But normally saying, as for basic products, Kazakhstan is issued from 100% to 80%. And moreover, Kazakhstan has a large fertile land, and Kazakhstan has, let's say, potential to increase production of grain, production of corn, production of vegetables and others. And if you take, let's say, other Central Asian republics, like, for example, Kyrgyz, I love this country, Kyrgyzstan, and in your country, let's just say, the crops are different because you have different climatic zone, but we are facing in Kazakhstan and other countries, I think, another problem. It's not a starvation, it's not malnutrition. We don't have such a problem, such a problems. The problem is of balanced nutrition and the increasing of assortment of those food products. I think this is it. And taking this opportunity, we would like also to say that every member country are willing to have other Central Asian countries to become a full-matched members. So we are waiting for such
Kyrgyzstan, our brother Kyrgyzstan.
Our spokesperson today told that Azerbaijan is finalizing its internal procedure to become full-fledged member. It means Caucasus is with us already. And then if, for example, Tajikistan with us, and for example, if Kyrgyzstan joins us and other countries join us, then it will make, let's say, possibility to consolidate more resources, financial, genetic, humanitarian, technical, and others. Thank you.
If there's some journalists that non-members of our organization, this train is going, just have the time to jump in.
Thank you. So next question, please present yourself.
Thank you. My name is Polina Ivanova. I'm from Minsk, from Belarus. And,
Okay.
I represent publishing house Belarus Today.
Welcome.
Позвольте вопрос на русском задам. Мы сегодня много говорим о продовольственной безопасности в контексте причин пандемии, изменений климата, различных геополитических моментов. Беларусь не является членом вашей организации, но темы тоже очень актуальны для нашего региона. И давайте будем откровенны, я думаю, что санкционное давление, в частности, запрет на поставку азотных, калийных удобрений в отношении белорусских и российских производителей, он внес весомый вклад в усугубление продовольственного кризиса в мире. Вот хотелось бы узнать, какую позицию ваша организация занимает вот именно в отношении таких методов, как санкции? Потому что я слышала вашу ремарку, что мы не говорим о политике, но когда мы говорим о голоде в бедных странах, это в том числе и белорусские удобрения, и российские удобрения. И стоит ли говорить, что это политика, либо мы все-таки здесь говорим о каких-то других вещах? Спасибо.
You know, a general stand, which have been pronounced consistently at the United Nations premises, the United Nations General Assembly, Security Council, and other forums. Kazakhstan is, for example, against this kind of, let's say, things like sanctions. As for commenting this question, I think we have also already told you that we are not political organization. We just
so I could not
concerning sanctions.
It was the sanctions about fertilizers that
How do you think
forbidden.
They, let us say,
From export fertilizers that are forbidden because of the sanctions imposed on those countries. Извините. Я хотел сказать большое вам спасибо за вопрос. Ну, просто, понимаете, мы просто не можем комментировать эти вопросы. Я очень извиняюсь. Мы вот, да, вот у вас хороший вопрос, Ну, просто этот вопрос надо задать в другом месте, я считаю. Да, я понимаю, я надеюсь, что мир воцарится в том регионе, и все будет нормально. И пусть все будет хорошо, пусть снимутся санкции, пусть все будет хорошо. Но просто мы действительно искренне хочу сказать, что, во-первых, мы исламская организация, и со всем туда отношения имеем. И, с другой стороны, мы не уполномочены. Извините, ладно? Простите,
Thank you very much. Now we have one question from Zoom, Ekaterina, and I will be voicing her because we can't hear her for some reason at the moment. Her question is in Russian, so I will ask.
Please.
Какую помощь по обеспечению продовольственной безопасности Казахстана в силах оказать другим странам на фоне того, что население самой страны столкнулось с рекордным уровнем инфляции и импортозависимостью? И является ли этой проблемой нарушения продовольственной безопасности страны?
Это Казахстан, про Казахстан спрашивают?
Partially, I have answered this question, answering the question before. Kazakhstan is, in regard of food security, is a stable country, and Kazakhstan is not, let's say, delivering any kind of assistance to the countries free of charge. Yes, there is some examples of humanitarian assistance, for example, to Tajikistan. But no one is saying this is our own common responsibility of the whole organization, for all membership. And as for the sense of this question, I can understood the sense of the question. Yes, distinguished correspondent, distinguished journalists could have the right to ask this question because of the difficult geopolitical situation, consequences of crisis, and because of economic crisis, which is evident for everybody. But Kazakhstan is we could consider is a country which is stable, and Kazakhstan is not going, let us say, to be apart from common problems. And then we think that we are not in the position to put the question like what is the help of Kazakhstan. I think it's another item. It's another question.
Я хочу на русском ответить. Большое спасибо за вопрос. Я просто хотел сказать, что прежде всего мы не гуманитарная организация. Мы уже сказали на английском языке. Мы организация, которая занимается инфраструктурными, сельскохозяйственными изменениями в экономиках стран, которые об этом попросили, странах-членах. Наша организация не экспортирует зерно миллионами тонн. Нет такой у нас цели. У нас есть одно направление, гуманитарное, но и то там объем вывозимых, который планируется вывести как гуманитарная помощь, она никак не влияет на продовольственную безопасность Казахстана. Она такая небольшая, объемы небольшие. Я просто хочу сказать, что я, конечно, понимаю, что этот вопрос, но этот вопрос немного в другом месте должны задать. Большое спасибо. Извините, я надеюсь, что я ответил на этот вопрос.
Спасибо большое. И теперь последний вопрос. Last question, please, from our over here. The microphone, please.
Мындай эле сүйлөйүн. Саламатсыңарбы? Мен дагы Кыргызстандан Булак KG онлайн сайтынын башкы редактору Семетей Аманбеков.
Жакшы.
Кыргызча берсем түшүнөсүңөр, орусча берген. Ооба. Эки суроом бар эле. Биринчи суроо азыр айтып кеттиңиз, биз мындай помощь кылбайбыз, мындай инфраструктурный жардам беребиз деп. Өткөн жылы 2021 жылы ушу исламик организация менен ЕАЭСтин өлкөлөрү меморандумга кол койду эле. Ушул жактан биздин проблема бул продукты көп эле, бирок жеткиргенге мындай мүмкүнчүлүк болбой атат деген суроо болду. Ошондуктан менин суроом азыр ошол меморандум боюнча кандай жумуш өткөзүлүп жатат? ЕАЭС менен кандай жолдор түзүлдү? Жана экинчи суроом бул азыр баарыбыз билебиз, азыркы дүйнөлүк кырдаал боюнча, акыбал боюнча ушул продовольствиянын, азык-түлүктүн баалары көтөрүлүп атат. Ошол жактан кандай исламик организациясы кандай жумуштарды өткөзүп атат ушул тараптан? Жакын арада азык-түлүккө баасы түшөбү, стратегиясы кандай болуп атат? Азыр абдан жакшы карайтып кеттиңиз. Ушул Казакстанда un боюнча 22 тонна өндүрдүк деп, 22 миллион тонна өндүрдүк деп, 9 миллион ички рынокко кетсе, тышкы рынокко көбүрөөк калат деген. Ошондой жакшы маалыматтар бар, стратегиясы кандайбы ушул азык-түлүктүн баасы түшүш боюнча? Рахмат.
Мен экинчи суракка жооп берейин. Сиз кыргызча жооп беремиз деп казак сурадыңыз го. Бұл сұраққа меморандум сізге бірінші сұрағыңызға байланысты оны жазбаша сізге жауап береміз, жарай ма? Өйткені бізге біреумен ақылдасуымыз керек. Түсініп отырсыз ғой, не? Екінші сұрағыңызға байланысты тағы да айтайын деймін, өте жақсы сұрақ. Бірақ та біз үкіметтің Қазақстан Республикасы баға деген нарық құрылыс қой, нарық, рынок өзі не қылады. Біздің Қазақстан нарықтық экономика. Сондықтан бұл жерде бұл Қазақстанның бағасы сондай нарықтық жағдайда құрылады бағалары. Енді біздің ұйым оған ешқандай қатысы жоқ. Біз ол нарықтық, бұл Қазақстан үкіметінің ісіне араласқанымыз болады да. Біз тек қана сол жәлік айтқанымдай инфраструктуралық өзгерістер біздің мемлекет, бізге мүше мемлекеттердің несінде, құрамында мүше мемлекеттердің ішіндегі өздері сұраған жағдайда, бізде сондай сұрау өтініш еткен жағдайда, біз олардың ішінде жаңағы инфраструктурны өзгерістер кіргіземіз. Бірақтан біз ойлаймыз, біз сенеміз. Біздің инфраструктурный өзгерістер енгізгеннен кейін бағаның ауыл шаруашылық бағасында бәрі сол орнына түседі деп ойлаймыз. Сондықтан Алла жазса, Құдай қаласа, мынау бізде Қырғызстан бізге мүше болса, сонда да біздегі бар жаңағы күшті опыт бар, бізде күшті тәжірибе бар, басқа елдерге кіргізіп жатқан. Сонымен бөліселік деп ойлаймын. Сұрағыңызға жауап бердім ба?
Иә, ошо стратегия боюнча айтып берсеңиз, ошо инфраструктураны өндүрсөңүз. Нени? Конкретный программалар барбы?
Осыны болды дейм ме? Жаңағы сізге сол қағазды жазбаша түрде жауап береміз деп сөйтіп айтып жатыр. Жарайды.
Thank you very much. Let's wrap up our meeting. So as we come to the end of our meeting, let me once more thank our high-level officials from the Iofs Secretariat, Dr. Ismail Abdulhamid, Ambassador Dawlet Yemberdiyev, and Ambassador Dr. Tashabai for all your efforts in this noble cause. I would like to extend my sincere and deep gratitude to our distinguished guests from the media for your attendance and active participation. Please, we will escort you out for refreshments, and please leave us your emails. If you have any questions, feel free to contact me. Thank you very much.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you so much.